All right, let's do this. Let's have a video not make it to YouTube, even though it's on YouTube. But since it's me, it probably won't make it to YouTube. CliffBeats, no script off the rip. This is a donation request by my friend Catherine. Thank you so much. I don't know why I looked at my phone to check. I already know who this is. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you. We have Ricky Gervais being a philosopher for 20 minutes. Is my mic working? Why do I feel like my mic's not working? Turn up the volume. Hold on. Let me check something. I know we're live. Bear with me. Yeah. Don't complain. Yo. There we go. Might be a little bit louder. Might help out a little bit. Fuck it. If it's too loud, just let me know. We'll figure it out. All right. No script off the rip. What you see is what you get. No cuss, no edits. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's go. Show love to Ricky Gervais. Go subscribe. Like video. Subscribe to Laugh Planet.
You have ruminated on death. You've got a long way to go yet, but what will death be like when it comes?
Well, the best thing about death is you won't know about it. It's like being stupid. It's only painful for others. So I'm not bothered by it. I don't care about being dead. I worry about how I die.
Yeah, sure.
We do ponder the universe, and it always comes back to us. It always comes back to us. You know, why are we here? Why are we? Well, we just are. The chance of us being born, that sperm hitting that egg, is 400 trillion to 1. We're not special. We're just lucky. And there's loads of reasons why you can say we're here. It's more what you do with it. It's to eat and drink and make friends and have fun and learn.
Make, as you do, make people laugh.
Make people laugh. Oh, there's no better privilege. It's not saving lives like a doctor or securing a beachhead and.
In a way, it's like saving lives, though. I would say so. Just one laugh or smile or save someone's life, really turn someone's day around.
And freeing people from a tyranny.
It may do a lot more good than you're conceding.
Well, we just want to get through life. We just want to think it was worth living.
Laugh along the way, don't we?
Well, I just think that when you're more unhappy than happy, there's something wrong, and you've got to do something about it. And if you're mostly happy, then keep going, you know. And if I stop enjoying life, or I have low quality of life, or I'm in pain, I'll pop into a chemist and take the pill. Hopefully, it'll be available by then. The one that
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. Just the way he says stuff sometimes, it's just so morbid. It's hilarious. I'm sorry. Let me know if the volume's too messed up on the mic too. I feel like it's bad.
obviously everyone gets, and I used to be frivolous and I used to do not, now I just answer them seriously. If we evolved from apes, why are there still apes around? I used to say things like, well, if God made man from dust, why is there still dust around? And things like, you know, but now I say, well, we didn't evolve from modern apes, we evolved with modern apes from a common ancestor, rather like, and I just answer it deadly serious, like they, you know, it doesn't help. Then someone followed it up with, well, I've been going to the same zoo for 24 years and I haven't seen one monkey turn into a person. But I think, even though that's incredibly stupid, we think, actually, it shows what the problem is when people try and understand it. They can't grasp the scale of it. They can't imagine these tiny changes. No one can imagine 50 million years. So they do expect the chimp to go, come on, lad, get on with it. And that's because they all
just pats him on the back.
Also give it a will. They can't see that it's nearly an analog thing as well. And I think you've spoken about this before, your amazing model about if you took a picture of your dad and your grandparents and their dad, at any one point you go, they look alike. But at some point is a fish. You know, eventually there's a fish. I didn't see that coming. Well, you did. You see, you know, it's so that they, again, it's the scale. The scale is unimaginable. It's lucky that it did happen because we couldn't imagine it. If it wasn't fact, we couldn't make that up.
You're not convicted of your atheism.
Well, I
You're
am.
not sure.
No, I am, because atheism is only rejecting the claim that there is a God. Atheism isn't a belief system. Atheism. So this is atheism in a nutshell. You say there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no, I say I don't believe you then. So you believe in one God, I assume?
In 3 persons, but go ahead.
Okay, so you
In 3 persons.
okay. So, but there are about 3,000 to choose from that have been, you know, people who believe in.
I've done some reading, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, you believe in you deny one less God than I do. You don't believe in 2,999 gods, and I don't believe in just one more.
Right.
I remember.
This is serious, but it's very serious. It's a topic that's been discussed since the beginning of time. I mean, we all don't know the real answer here. This is interesting. All right, good pick right here.
I did a sketch once on the 11 o'clock show, and it was about benefit cheats or means testing, right? And the joke was, I played an awful sort of bigoted right-wing news reporter, and I was going, we should test them. We should see if they're really disabled. We should tip them out the wheelchair and set the fire alarm off and see if they run, right? And also, if they say they're deaf, they might not even hear the fire alarm. They would all this sort of nonsense, right? And someone, a lawyer or someone at Channel 4 said, "Oh, don't have a go at the deaf. They're very militant. Have a go at the blind." So it was nothing to do with morality. It was like, I'll have to write more letters. Right? And I go, well, one, the joke doesn't work, because blind people can hear the fire alarm, right? It's but apart from that, this isn't to do, this is the thing about political correctness, it's not correctness, it's political correctness. So it's often, oh, where do I get less flack? You know, so, and I can defend everything I've ever done. You know, I'm not one of these people who say, comedy is your conscience taking a day off. I can defend every joke I've ever said, because offence usually comes when they mean it. First of all, I think political correctness is good per se. I don't want people going around saying terrible things and hurting people's feelings all the time, particularly politicians. Right? But in art, it's different, and joke is very different. It's a very different thing. And when the offence comes, it's usually because they've mistaken the target of the joke with the subject, and they're not necessarily the same thing, particularly with irony. And with irony, you're purposely saying the wrong thing, and you're hoping that people are sensible and intelligent enough to get it and laugh at the stupid attitude. So confusion comes, okay? But you can't legislate against stupidity. You can only water satire down so much until it's not satire anymore. And then just standing up and preaching. You're standing up and going, racism's wrong, isn't it? And people go, yeah. Cheers, good night. You know? So
Yeah, he's right.
As long as most people get the joke, and it's gettable, and there is a basis for it and a reason for it, and there's a comic conceit and a fair target, you can't worry about people not getting it or not liking it, because that's going to happen. There's nothing you can say that someone somewhere doesn't like. And most of it's taste. It's just they didn't like it, you know? A few examples.
Yeah, you just can't make everybody happy. It's just what it comes down to. Not everybody likes a joke. Not everybody likes somebody. Some people just hate my face. It's a part of life. It's just
Examples. My first gig, I think, in New York, I made jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, the Holocaust, everything. Right? I did a joke about Anne Frank, right? The Nazis being so stupid they couldn't hear her type in a book, right? Okay, and it was a routine. And I got a letter of complaint from a Jewish society saying, "We loved your show, but we did not appreciate the joke." I said, so you got the irony with the famine, cancer, AIDS, but you didn't like the. And of course, I don't think that. I did and then they go, oh yeah, sure, okay. And most people do that, but we're human. So when we hear a thing about what we think is us, we go, well, that's a bit. Oh. We get it on all the other stuff. You can't see the wood for the trees, and that's human, right? But it's crazy to worry about one person thinking you mean them when you don't. You know, I tweeted once, why did the chicken cross the road? Hey, fuck you, my chicken died last night. you know? So someone's going to be going through some...
Yep.
Your joke is going to remind people...
See how he's being serious and people are cracking up? That's crazy. Hey, fuck you, my chicken died last night. Yeah, people will take stuff and associate it with them. They take it and think it's directed towards them, but it's not. And if you're laughing at one thing and then one thing offends you over here, you got to look at the big picture. He's not. It's a comedian. That's what comedians are supposed to do.
People of a bad thing.
Everything should be subject to ridicule.
Yeah.
I mean, even just to force you to understand, think about it more.
I know. But people then they go, wow, yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings.
Yeah.
You know. And also they try and do this thing. Oh, you should never punch down. You should punch up. Well, who's to say what's up and down is?
Yeah, it's a subjective.
So you're deciding who's down and who's up. No. You don't get to do that.
Yeah, no, and so there's this whole thing nowadays about not offending people and people feeling uncomfortable in this.
Everyone's offended, dude. I just burped. Someone probably got offended and disliked the video.
States is a big thing with sort of target words and safe zones. People don't want to hear a word that they don't like.
How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like?
It's not. It's but I think it's at least it's in the States. I think it's a property of upbringing where parents sort of convince their kids. When I was growing up, we played in the streets, right? But now you don't go in the streets; it's dangerous. Yeah. You should never take any risks, and you shouldn't do anything that might hurt you in any way or make you uncomfortable in any way. And
that's not living life.
Education and science, the purpose of it is to make you uncomfortable.
And a sense of humor.
Yeah,
it makes you bulletproof.
Yeah,
you don't have to pave the jungle.
Yeah,
you can just grow a pair and have a laugh about it. I mean,
you're offending
I
ideas,
comedy
but
comes
not people.
first, and I understand. Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
people try and give ideas rights.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not allowed to offend their. They jump in the way of the bullet and say, "Why are you shooting at me?"
Yeah.
Right? If someone insults maths, I don't go, "Oh, dare you insult maths?"
Yeah.
Insult it all you like. Yeah. It works.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? If you're so fragile that you think that a joke about someone can destroy it, well, you need something else then. Yeah. It's nonsense. And now people saying, people mistake sometimes demanding equality, right, by not being part of human.
Oh, before he jumps into this, people get mad at me. I have gotten death threats for just reacting to a song. Not what I've said, just for putting it on my platform. Because it didn't align with their viewpoints. Even though it's just a song. Or they don't like the artist. I'm just watching. I'm promoting. It's crazy where people just get this. That's where he said that's where you need something else. And what he was saying, like, you need to get some help. Some type of, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world we live in today. But I love everybody, but man, it's crazy. It's hard to do anything in the public eye. Shit. Even in private.
Mistake sometimes demanding equality, right, by not being part of humor.
Yeah.
It's actually demanding privilege.
Yeah.
It's nonsense, but I agree. It's someone says they're offended. I want people to stop saying that joke's offensive.
Yeah.
I want them to start saying I found it offensive, because you've got to own the emotion, because that's all it is. You're just telling me how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Have you seen a change in your over the last 20 years or so about how atheism is perceived?
Well, I mean, you sort of do it. There's part of me that does it because I think I should. That there is someone being persecuted now that might, I can't change the world, but what I mean, maybe someone in a Western world that thinks they shouldn't come out because it's a bad thing, because it's still a bad thing in Western society.
What the fuck was just flashing in front of my eyes, dude? You subliminally messaging me?
Thinks they shouldn't come out because it's a bad thing, because
Richard Outgrowing God Dawkins released in bookshops later this month. Oh, this is what they're talking about? Why the fuck was this flash in front of my eyes? Outgrowing God, a beginner's guide? Is that what he's talking about?
Someone in a Western world that thinks they shouldn't come out because it's a bad thing, because it's still a bad thing in Western society. In America, they took a vote.
America, right? Probably that big bit in the middle of America. But we were voted least trustworthy group, joint bottom with rapists. So there's still a thing about, I better not say I'm an atheist, it'll annoy my mum or dad or granddad or school. There's still that. So you do that. Some of it I do it as an intellectual pursuit, because someone asks me a question, I'd rather give the right answer than the wrong answer. I'd rather tell the truth than lie, because it's easier, you know. I think the big thing, people think I run into churches and go, it's all fucking bollocks. I don't care, you know, but if I'm asked if I believe in God, I'll say no. I mean, you know, the tricky one is, I did a film called The Invention of Lying, where I did a scene where thank you, 7 people saw that film.
I was about to say I haven't seen it.
Where my mother in that is dying, and it's because I'm the only person in the society who can lie. She says, I don't want to go to nothingness. And I go, there's not nothingness. It's a beautiful place you go, and you're young again. And I invent heaven, right? And that comes from the fact that when my mum was dying, I did face a dilemma. If she'd have said, do you think there's a God? That's a personal thing, and that's you know. I just try and be honest, really. And the other thing is, if someone else's kid, 5-year-old, asks me, do I believe in God? I sort of think, what should I say here? And I say, well, I don't, but a lot of people do. What do you think? You know, I try and there's still a level of diploma. It's not always my place. You know what I mean? Mm. I don't. You know, my house, my rules. If someone asks me something on Twitter, I tell them the truth. It's, you know.
If there were 3 doors, which says God exists, God doesn't exist, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
There's 3 doors. It says God exists.
He just repeats himself. He said it doesn't make sense.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
There's 3 doors. It says God exists. It doesn't exist. I don't know.
But you not knowing is irrelevant to where there is or isn't a God. Again, you've done a sleight of hand there on a category mistake, because 1 is knowledge and 2 are beliefs, right?
I haven't even finished my question.
No, what? No, there's always... I'm saying 3 is always there. If you had to choose one...
Yeah.
It's I believe there's a God. I don't believe there's a God. I don't know is irrelevant then, isn't it?
Mic drop. And look, here's the thing too, is like, I don't know. I'm not an atheist. I'm not religious. I do believe in energy. I do believe in something being bigger than us. I just don't know what it is. I grew up Catholic, in case you're wondering, if anybody's wondering what my religious background is. Communion and everything, all right? Well, I got pictures. I can pull them up. But yeah, I don't know either. But I do believe in something bigger than me, for sure. I can tell you a story about it one day, because I have a vision when I was a kid. I had a vision when I was a kid, and I could remember it vaguely in my mind. I said something to my mom that freaked her the hell out about what we would call heaven.
Then, isn't it? God, I don't know, is irrelevant then, isn't it?
I like how you look at each other like, oh, shit.
So you're basically saying that we have reached this stage purely because of social media. That's the only reason.
No, it's just another outlet for narcissism. That's all it's done. It just amplifies things. There's always been things like that. But, you know, 15 years ago, if you wanted to write a complaint to the BBC, you get out your pen and paper and go, dear BBC, I can't fucking be bothered. Now you tweet something, someone else gets involved, they get involved, a press person's reading it, it's a story. Because it's a spur of the moment. It's shouting out of a window and someone shouting back. Yep. Whereas we didn't have that before. So it's about amplification. It's all about amplification. And there's also an equivalence, there's quite a democracy on Twitter, whereas you can have a genius, you can have Richard Dawkins tweet something, and underneath it is some bloke in a bin
tweeting summer in the same font, and it gives it an equivalence. Do you know what I mean? You've read them both. You've read them both, and you go, right, and that can, amplify. And I think you have to treat it like that. You have to treat it like you've walked past some graffiti, and it's for you to get offended. No one's ever hurt my feelings on Twitter. It would be like, right, imagine you walking down Savile Row, right?
Yeah.
Where I know you.
Yeah.
Where I know you hang out. And there's a man in a bin covered in his own shit, and he shouts "wanker." Imagine you getting into an argument with him.
It's happened.
Yeah. Yeah. But then on Twitter, suddenly you're in a discussion with this guy on Twitter. So you've given him all this credence, So you've got to treat it like that. And it's terrible with some trolls really do target people, vulnerable people, and it's awful. But if you turn your phone off, it's not there anymore. And I think we have to treat these people like that they should be treated. They are in a bin.
I like that. That was dope.
We were chatting beforehand, and one of the
Get that shit out. Why am I getting advertisements for books and shirts and shit?
questions came up about comedy, and the fact that we couldn't think of many, if any, comedians who were religious.
We got the same watch.
I'm not asking for example.
Sorry, hold on. I got distracted by his watch.
Comedians who were religious.
He's not religious.
I'm not asking for example. I'm just saying, do we think it's a thing that most stand-ups tend to be agnostic or atheist or?
I think so. I think that's because a lot of comedians are critical thinkers. I think a lot of them are science-based.
They're intelligent.
Well, I don't want to. Well, yeah. But then a lot of religious people are intelligent, but they've been got at an early age, and it's like, I think they're braver. Some people, there's still a thing of not saying I'm an atheist because people think that it's a bad thing to be. Parents still christen their kids instead of school because they think it's a respectable thing to do. That's sad, but I get it. There's a couple though. They don't put it in their act, I don't think. Tim Vine is very devout Christian.
Yes, true. Yes. But in general, they tend to be, I think, more sceptical or.
I think that's because they look at things from all angles and they come up with funny ideas. And
that makes sense.
And I look at the idea, and I think that's what's wrong, and that's what dogma does, is that people try and give ideas human rights, so you leave them alone, and. You don't have to. You can ridicule ideas without hurting anyone. And some people say...
That deserves a round of applause.
Oh, thank you. And they found it shuts some people up. If they say that's hurt, you can be accused of racism or anything if you criticize an idea. And it's people jumping in the way of a bullet and saying, "Why are you shooting at me?" And it comes back to...
Yeah, he said this before. This must be from a bit or something he's had. Think about how many fucking interviews he has to do. So, I mean, some of the stuff is just... It's just like me. When I do podcasts or I talk to people, sometimes I say the same phrases or say the same things over and over again because it's just in my subconscious.
Richard's point that I'm offended... That's not an argument. It's not an argument. It's like me being offended if someone takes the mickey out of maths. It's like, go on, yeah, fine, yeah. Do you know what I mean? You can laugh at maths. It doesn't affect maths. It doesn't affect maths. The other thing is this ridiculous thing of let's ask the average person what they think. Let's stop asking the average person what they. Do you know how fucking stupid the average person is? We still sell bottles of bleach with big labels on that say, "Do not drink." Right? Let's take those labels off, right? For 2 years, and then have a referendum.
What's sad is we have labels and people still fucking do dumb shit. What was that trend where people were setting themselves on fire a long time ago? Maybe I'm just maybe it's only a few people. I remember seeing something where people were maybe it was like 2013 or 14. Someone was showing me clips of people setting themselves on fire. I don't know if it was something to go viral or whatever the fuck it was, man. Dude, I didn't really use social media until 2 years ago. So that's when I started this channel. Now I'm over here learning about God, atheism, and being Christian or Catholic or whatever. And this was definitely a heavier, sensitive topic. Sensitive topic for some, not so much for me. Listen, I don't care what anybody believes. As long as you're happy, enjoy your life. We don't have much time here anyway. Believe whatever you want to believe. Just don't shove whatever you believe down other people's throats. That's what I am a firm believer in. But yeah, me personally, if anybody's curious, I believe there is an energy. I think we give a name, God, to something that we don't know the exact name. I believe there is an energy. I believe there is something bigger than us. I don't know about a whole heaven hell situation, but I think internally you kind of feel what's right and what's wrong. But then there's the argument of, well, then what about people who do all this evil shit? Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe all of our meters are different based on how we were raised. I don't know. I don't know those answers, man. I don't know. I just do believe that there's something bigger than me. That's my belief. But what the fuck do I know? I'm just reacting to Ricky Gervais. Thanks for watching with me, guys. Please, nobody with the death threats. I didn't do nothing. I'm just watching this. Thank you so much, Catherine, for the donation request. I appreciate it. Patreon, I love you guys for supporting me while I'm dealing with YouTube's bullshit 24/7. So thank you so much. If you guys want more Ricky Gervais, don't forget, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know. I'll get to as much content as I possibly can. You have my word. I promise. I'll check out whatever you guys want. Here's the thing with the analytics, it's tricky. You have to subscribe and you have to comment. Otherwise, I don't see it. It's YouTube's weird. And they're like deleting comments now. I'm noticing that because I'll even comment on like my friends' videos that, just to show support and help their algorithm. It'll get deleted. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'll leave it again. It'll get deleted. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I feel like my mic is like crapping out or something. Yo, 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 yo. Why you always yelling at the mic? But yeah, man. Good video. Definitely racked my brain a little bit. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Look, anybody here dealing with anxiety, depression, panic attacks, PTSD, addiction, a bad breakup, whatever the case may be, I'm always here for you. I mean it when I say that, man. I would not have this channel if it wasn't for you or these amazing artists. So thank you so much. I love you. Stay safe. When you reach out to me on Instagram, please refrain from sending me song requests. It's really there for people who are in a dark place and need someone to talk to. I'm no doctor. I can't solve your problems, but I'm here if you just need someone to talk to, okay? If you're uncomfortable reaching out to me there, join my Discord. Amazing community. Everyone's got your back. I can't stress that enough. We have well over 1,000 members, mental health forums. We have a panic attack room, deep discussion. I don't know what goes on there, so be careful. You could go network. You never know who you might meet. Plug your own YouTube channel. I don't care as long as you just show love. That's what this whole thing is about, man. That's what and it's free. It's all fucking free, dude. The only thing that costs money with me is Patreon. And I didn't even want that. So that was set up by one of my subscribers that picked the prices for me because that's what they thought I was worth. Okay. And now I want to lower the prices, but they're stuck because people are subscribed. It is what it is, man. You don't have to sign up for shit. I love to have you because that's when we do exclusive content and requests like this, which I'll try to post this to YouTube. But if it doesn't make it, it should make it. It shouldn't have any issues, but you never know. I made a video about being sober and they fucking pulled it. So they pick and choose, man. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Everybody who watches with me, thank you. Go like, go subscribe to the original artist. The most important part of this video. Now I got to get going to work. I love you guys. Stay safe, all right? Follow me to the next one. I'll see you there.